All right. How's everyone doing tonight? Welcome to the show. Tonight we're asking the question, is the Cybertruck explosion a Black Swan event? So we're going to go through this. Buckle up. First of all, just wanted to see how everyone's doing. Hope you guys are having a great night. Obviously, it's a late night. But there's some interesting developments happening with regards to this Tesla Cybertruck, and I wanted to talk about it. So that's what we're going to do tonight. I don't know how long we're going to go. Maybe 6 a.m., 6 in the morning. It's 10:30 my time right now, so 8 hours. Does that sound fair to you guys? I don't think we're going to go that long. I don't think so. So let me just jump into this here. I've been gathering my thoughts. I'm just going to read a little bit from my cell phone here. Some of my thoughts. And then if you have any questions as well, or something that maybe I've said, or something that you think is kind of interesting that maybe you want me to chat about in regards, specifically in regards to this Cybertruck explosion. All right, so I call this title the Cybertruck explosion, a Black Swan event that defied logic. And again, there's still a huge investigation going on. But this smells fishy to me. So we're just going to go to a news clipping that we have of the truck explosion, and then we're going to come back here. Yeah, 1:30 p.m. Oh, that's perfect in Australia. Perfect. Hi, and Gina. How you doing? All right, so let's go to the screen. Let's have a look at this here. Here it is. Let me just make sure you guys can see this. This is what we're talking about. I'm just going to make it full screen. All right.
Police say they're investigating whether the Tesla Cybertruck explosion outside a Trump hotel is linked to the New Year's attack in New Orleans.
So that's the explosion. Let's play it again.
Las Vegas police say they're investigating whether the Tesla Cybertruck explosion outside a Trump hotel is linked to the New Year's attack in New Orleans. One person died inside the pickup truck, and 7 people nearby suffered minor injuries when the vehicle exploded. Video released by police showed charred fireworks mortars, canisters, and other explosive devices crowded into the back of the pickup. During an address in Maryland Wednesday, U.S. President Joe Biden said the FBI is investigating the incident as a terrorist act, and it does not believe the driver acted alone.
All right. Joe Biden does not believe that the terrorist acted alone. Okay. That's Joe Biden. All right, so let's start piecing these things together. Let's just start putting this stuff together, and let's just see what we can come up with. So on January 1st, again, I mentioned this. I'm pretty sure Bob Barber mentioned this. A few others mentioned that it was strangely quiet leading into January 1st. And I kept saying on my channel, I said I would be surprised if nothing happened on January 1st. I said it on my channel leading up to it, like we did 2025 predictions, Simpson predictions. And then we did on December 31st, go back, watch that video late at night. We had a few people on the channel, and we were all kind of saying that this is just, 2025 is going to be an explosive year. We had no idea. I didn't even think about the idea of somebody, using a Cybertruck to cause it to explode in front of a Trump hotel. Didn't even dawn on me. Didn't even enter the radar at all. And the reason why I'm calling this a Black Swan event is this quite possibly, if we're not careful with this could be the thing that actually triggers World War III. And I'm going to unpack this tonight because a lot of people are going, well, does this tie into New Orleans and all that? I'm going to leave that separate. I don't think it has anything to do with New Orleans. Does that mean New Orleans is off the list for a Black Swan event? No. I think February 9th with the Super Bowl in New Orleans, that's another thing I'm going to be watching, because if I was New Orleans, I would make security the utmost highest. I would pour all my resources to protecting that place, because I'm telling you, this is weird right now. This is weird. So I think the incident in New Orleans, I'm treating that as separate and nothing to do with what happened here. That's how I'm treating this. And we'll talk about this, but I'm going to make a video about the Super Bowl, why I think this would be a most likely target to do the most amount of damage this year. I'm going to share that a little bit later. I'm just little bit of a teaser, but I'm working on that for later, not now. Right now, we want to talk about this Cybertruck. Look who's in the house. Let's see. We have Bob Barber from Ontario. We have Gary and Angina together. Welcome to the show tonight. We have Got Reality. We have Tom, Don as well. And Shirley, welcome. And Deidre, welcome to the show. All right, so, and Daisy, man, everybody's here. All right, so January 1st, the dawn of a new year at 10:15 a.m. in front of the iconic Trump Hotel, a Tesla Cybertruck, the futuristic marvel of engineering, pulls up. Moments later, an explosion rocks the scene, sending onlookers into panic. But what unfolds next is far from ordinary. The story doesn't fit the narrative of a typical attack. Instead, it's a tale of restraint, mystery, and deliberate symbolism. A Black Swan event that defied logic. This is how I'm classifying this. So let's talk about the Cybertruck that was used. This is a truck built to withstand chaos. The Cybertruck isn't just any vehicle. It's bulletproof, it's fireproof, and designed to endure extreme conditions. Its ultra-tough exoskeleton made of cold-rolled stainless steel is built to shrug off gunfire and impacts that would leave most vehicles in shambles. But in this case, the toughness of the Cybertruck actually saved the Trump Hotel from severe damage. None of the windows were blown out. The explosion's impact was absorbed almost entirely by the vehicle itself, leaving the hotel and its occupants virtually unscathed. Even Elon Musk said, when asked about the incident, cryptically remarked, "The truck will drive again." Think about that one. It was just involved in a huge explosion. He's like, this truck will drive again. So let's talk about it's, if I show video clips, there's a chance this channel can get a strike and all this kind of weird stuff. So I'm trying to be cognizant of not showing too many video clips right now. If I break them down, that's one thing. But if I show entire clips leading up to it, but there's enough clips. Like, you guys have probably watched enough news footage of the same angle over and over and over again. We don't need to beat that drum anymore, but we gotta figure this stuff out. Gotta figure this out. So let's talk about the explosion that wasn't. Here's the first clue that this was no ordinary act of violence. The payload. Instead of high-powered explosives capable of devastating the building, like this Cybertruck full of explosives could have taken down the entire building itself. It was loaded. Bright, colorful fireworks, the kind used for celebration, not destruction. The result was a contained explosion with dramatic flashes and bangs, but little actual harm. So the question is, why would someone go through such lengths to create a scene without causing destruction? Could this have been a message, something carefully planned to capture the attention without shedding blood? Now, you might argue with me and say, but Shane, he died in that explosion. Hold on to that thought. Hold on to that thought. And 7 people were injured. Hold on to that. We'll get to that. I introduced to you the Green Beret connection. The Cybertruck's driver was found dead, slumped over the wheel with a bullet wound to the head. The authorities identified him as decorated Green Beret. I can't overemphasize Green Beret, an expert in drone warfare, a man with a spotless military record, and someone just months away from retirement. And by all accounts, he had no reason to commit such an act. But the story takes a darker turn. On December 31st, just one day before the explosion, this gentleman actually sent an email onto an undisclosed recipient. His message was chilling. It's urgent. I speak to someone. This could stop World War III. What could a man like this know? Was this event his way of blowing the whistle on someone or on something unimaginable? Or was he silenced before he could share his truth? Hold on to that thought. The DNA twist. As investigators dug deeper, they uncovered a stunning anomaly. The DNA from the body didn't match that of the Green Beret's son. This raised unsettling questions. Was the man in the Cybertruck actually him? Or was his death staged and his identity switched to mislead investigators? Because right now, investigators are trying to say this is why he shot himself and this is why he blew up the Cybertruck, was because he found out that he's not the biological father of his son. So, tossing that aside, what if this person that was shot was actually not the guy, not the Green Beret? I believe his name is William. I think it's William. I'll come back to that. All right. So, and then there was the matter of a key number tied to his account, his cell phone, which was I'm not a military guy, but this was a sophisticated cell phone that nobody can get into, nobody can hack. But the key number that was tied to his account, which mysteriously changed after the explosion, could this have been triggered by the Green Beret himself, signaling that he was alive and protecting something vital? Because you can only do this logistically from the inside. If you knew all the codes, the passwords to your phone, all this stuff, it's easier to change this key, this registry on your phone, especially if it's a private phone. Like, these guys don't use ordinary phones like you and I use. It was changed a day after he was allegedly dead. So the only person that could change it would be him or somebody that had access to that information, top secret information, and was able to hack it and get inside it a day later. Remember Dopey Guy that was on the roof? I forget his name. That kid that had no social media presence, and he walked in, lied flat on a roof. Not a steep roof like the Secret Service was trying to tell us that roof was so steep. When he lay down and shot at Trump, somebody shot him. Don't know who shot him. Still don't know, because they burned the body within days. They cremated him, hiding the evidence. But the interesting thing, if you go back through all the news footage, they couldn't get into his phone. They couldn't get into his phone. They couldn't hack it. They couldn't crack it. It took them forever. So you're telling me that a Green Beret on the top of his game that went in over 60 Afghanistan missions, top secret missions in Afghanistan 2019, is an expert with cyber technology, an expert with automation, AI, all this stuff, drones. You're telling me that he's not smart enough to plan this and to be able to change his key a day later? But he's not smart enough to do that. But the guy, the teenager or the young adult that shot at Trump, his sophistication level is above the Green Berets in America. I'm telling you, you got to toss that aside. This guy was at the top of his game. He was soon to be retired. No problems in the military. They're going to start coming up with things saying, oh, this person didn't like him, whatever. Let's stick to this here. So why this wasn't an attack? If the Green Beret truly intended harm, he had the skills and the tools to unleash far greater destruction. That's what we're missing here. He could have leveled that building, but did not. You have to take that into consideration. I'm not saying he's innocent for blowing up his vehicle, but don't you think it's kind of weird that he used a Cybertruck that's bulletproof and fireproof when Elon Musk is the right-hand man, basically, of Donald Trump, hanging out with him all the time? And don't you think it's kind of weird that the Cybertruck parked in front of Donald Trump to get the attention of the President of the United States of America to look into this? You have now Elon's going to be going through all his data with the Cybertruck. You better believe it. He's going to uncover stuff. He's probably not going to reveal it to the public. Neither is Donald Trump. I'm telling you, this is a secret message that this guy is sending out to the powers that be that he is aware of some of the atrocities perhaps that were done in 2019 in Afghanistan, and he's aware of it. And he's protecting himself, and he's sending a message to the President of the United States, look into this. Look into Afghanistan 2019. Do your due diligence. Do your research. Look it up. See what was actually going on there. There's more. So if he's an expert with drones and skilled beret weapons, all kinds of stuff, he could have rigged the Cybertruck for catastrophic impact, but he didn't. Instead, he chose fireworks. Showy, but harmless. He used a vehicle designed to absorb damage and protect its surroundings. He carefully timed the explosion to ensure no one was hurt, and no real harm came to the hotel. This wasn't an attack. It was a message. But what was he trying to say? So this is the definition of a black swan. Unpredictable. A decorated soldier with no history of violence, suddenly implicated in a high-profile explosion. High impact. The implications of his email and the restrained nature of the attack suggests knowledge that could alter global security. Unresolved. The DNA mismatch, the key change, and the use of symbolic fireworks leaves us with more questions than answers. And I'd have to watch it a few times, but I could have swore there was a little bit of blue and red in there. As an expert in drone technology, he could have uncovered misuse of autonomous systems or secret operations that could trigger global conflict. Could his involvement in Afghanistan 2019 hold the key? Rumors of U.S. citizens being killed in covert missions have circulated. Was he about to expose the truth? So let's talk about the role of the Cybertruck. The Cybertruck wasn't just a vehicle in the story. It was the star. We have to remember that. Its resilience and design ensured that the hotel and its occupants were unharmed. Even the explosion itself was more theater than tragedy, hinting at a calculated effort to avoid casualties. Why? Could this event have been staged by the Green Beret himself, using the Cybertruck to create the perfect distraction while he slipped away? Or was he framed by someone who wanted him silenced, using the truck's symbolic nature to amplify the events in the impact? It's pretty much only two ways to look at it. Either he showed up to commit suicide, shot himself in the head at the same time as detonating these fireworks. Same time. And now, under investigation, they're arguing whether or not he was burnt before he got there. Like, I'm telling you, there's something going on here. And don't forget, when you press the summons button on these Cybertrucks, you can summon them up to 60 meters away. So you don't have to stand there, but you can make sure the coast is clear before the truck pulls up. No problem. Okay, so now we have some unanswered questions. Who changed the key? Was it the Green Beret remotely accessing his accounts to protect sensitive information? Or was it someone to erase traces of his work. Now, you can argue and say that the second the phone terminated, it reset. You can say that. You can say it reset. But that's not what the officials are saying. They're saying it changed not at the time of the explosion, it changed 24 hours later. That's the crazy part. Why fireworks? Was this a deliberate message to draw attention without violence? What was the email about? I'd like to read this email. If the warning about World War III was real, why wasn't it acted upon? And who ignored it and why? But now my understanding is this email has been forwarded to the FBI to look into this. And where is the Green Beret? If the body wasn't him, is he in hiding, preparing to release the truth? So this is no ordinary story. A Cybertruck explosion that left the vehicle intact, a decorated soldier with no motive or violence, an email warning of global catastrophe, all pointing to something much bigger. Was this the desperate act of a whistleblower trying to save the world? Or was he framed by those was he framed by those who feared what he might reveal? One thing is certain, this was no random act of violence. It was deliberate, calculated, and shrouded in mystery, a true black swan event, unexpected, impactful, and unresolved. So what do you think? Could this be an event that holds the key to preventing global disaster? Or is it a carefully constructed smokescreen hiding the truth in plain sight? So let me know in the comments. What do you guys think? What do you think about this? I'm just going to go to the comments here and see what you guys are saying. Let me just read some of these comments here. I'm just giving you guys a minute. Seeing if there's also any new stuff as well. So funny. Matthew Livelsberger. Matthew Livelsberger. That's the guy's name. So let's just see. All right. They got a plan. It's not random. You're saying what I was thinking. Mar Fugel has email on last night program. Okay. I'd love to see it. I'll have to, I don't know if I can get my hands on it, obviously, but perhaps I can do a screenshot of the email or something and read it. It's quite fascinating. So maybe changing his passkey was to let whoever know he is still alive. That's what I'm thinking right there. Maybe T-Man has a purpose for this distraction. It could be a distraction. It could be like everything here is on the table. So Deidre says, I heard he knew something about Area 51. He wanted uncovered. Did you hear anything about that? No, I have not. Have not heard. What I've been hearing is mostly about a little bit about the drones, a little bit about it, and mostly here's what I heard. Do you remember when was it? Just last year? I think it was last January, wasn't it? Where these balloons were floating over the United States. It actually floated over Canada and went into the US. Well, there's reports that there were dozens of those balloons, not just a few of them, dozens of them. And I did some research onto these balloons. This is not new technology, by the way. This is not new technology. This was technology that was used back in World War II, where who was it that did this? I want to say it was Germany. I'm not sure. It could have been Japan. Might have been Japan. Actually sent balloons over with mines on them, explosives on them, and they went the same currents as these Chinese balloons, and they landed in different parts of the United States. And some of them actually didn't detonate. This is back in World War II. So much that a family that was going to church and then one day went on a picnic, and the kids went to play, and they uncovered one of these balloons and it exploded. I think it killed the mom and the kids because they didn't know what they were uncovering. They were lifting up this was back in the 1960s, something like this. So like 20 years later, they came across this balloon. And they know that there are more of those balloons in the woods all over North America. It's just they're buried and stuff. And if the government finds them, they hide them. So if you had that back in World War II, that technology, and then last year we have balloons coming across again, and nobody seemed like it took forever to shoot them down. Now there's rumors of Chinese subs that are deploying drones in North America, and their technology is far superior than anyone else. And they're launching them from subs on the East Coast. That's the rumors that are circulating right now. And I think that some of this stuff is going to come to light, that quite possibly the U.S. could be facing a war against China coming up. So this guy could be a whistleblower saying that, look, if we don't do something, what's going to end up happening is total annihilation. Both countries going at it. Nobody comes out a winner here. So I think this is going to come out more in the news. Let's see here. This is from the Gospel Warrior. Stephen Greer said that anti-gravity propulsion tech will be coming out. Then this happened. It was a setup because he was one of the whistleblowers. Isn't that interesting? I think this is beyond one man or government. Spiritual warfare is manifesting greater in the world. God is coming. I agree. Something's going on. Obviously, we're talking different levels here of stuff going on for sure. Let's see here. I don't know if I played this. It's not a plan. It's not random. They got a plan. Let's see here. What else do we have? Give up your life to Christ to be safe from destruction. Thank you for that. You're not late. You're not too late, bro. It's only 35 minutes. It's okay. It's all good. I was going to do this later in the week, but man, there's so much going on right now. The reason why I want to make these videos like this is because if you come back to this video a week or 2 weeks later, you can understand what we were thinking January 4th, 2025, at the very beginning of the year. So the drones kind of feel like they quieted down a little bit, although I haven't been paying as attention to the drones in the last 3 days. But on December 31st, I was like, man, I think something's coming January 1st. I just feel it. I'll be surprised if we get out of this without any incident, because I was actually focused on New York City. I was like, why isn't security through the roof in New York City? Like, this is crazy when you have drones going over New Jersey, coming in from the coast and all kinds of stuff, and you're not shutting down Manhattan, or you're not shutting down New York, what do you call it? Times Square. You're not shutting that area down. And they kept it going, and it was flawless. There, as far as I know, there was no incidents until New Orleans. And that footage looks weird as well. Like, man, my goodness, you see a bunch of cops, and all of a sudden they get wind and they run towards the scene of the crime. And I saw some of the footage, and I won't show it because it was brutal in New Orleans. Like, that was just absolutely brutal that somebody can take a car and do this. Like, it's horrible, horrible. But back to what we're talking about here is I forgot what I was saying. I actually forgot what I was saying. What was I saying here? Don't know where I was going with it. Oh, I was talking about they're not so much talking about drones now as not drones. What was I trying to say? Man, I just got in a hiccup here. The biggest thing I think that'll be coming out, if it does get exposed, is there's submarines off the coast, Chinese submarines that are launching these drones. This is what I'm expecting to come out. So they're treating New Orleans and this event as separate. I know people want to tie this together, but I believe this is totally separate. Let's see here. Some think this guy is still alive somewhere and was trying to leave the country, but wanted to clear his conscience with his email. Yes, he was actually, according to the email, he was actually on his way to Mexico. Like, he was trying to get to Mexico, wrote the email and said, I need to talk to someone before December 31st or by December 31st, something like that. And he also mentioned that he had a car that was highly protected. I forget what the code word is for it, but nobody would be able to approach the car because there were people that were after him, higher ups after this guy. And they knew that they couldn't approach him. They knew it. And there was no sign inside the car of anybody shooting themselves. There's no sign whatsoever. There's none of that. And this is from the investigators. They're like, we don't understand. There's a guy here. He's got a bullet hole. And we got to do an autopsy and all this kind of stuff. But it looks like he was almost like dead on arrival. Lots of stuff going on. Let's see here. What else? He left his wife for another woman, wanted to impress, and owed a lot of debt. Kind of weak. I think it's kind of weak. These guys, you have to understand, these guys are trained to withhandle stress. They plan everything out. So I think that is a spin that agency, news media outlets are going to spin all this kind of stuff to make him be a terrorist and then wrap it up, and that's it. But I think if he was a terrorist, this is not something that failed. That's what we have to understand. This wasn't a botched attempt that somebody got out of the way or they made the car swerve. No, this car went there on purpose and blew up. And they even said in the report, the firefighter said, thank God the fire went straight up. It didn't go to the sides. It didn't touch the windows, or virtually didn't leave a scratch, which is interesting. Like, obviously it left a scratch, but I didn't see any visible damage on the doors at the Trump Tower. I didn't see any. And what's funny is we drove by there a few months ago. I think it was in October we went by there. I wanted to drive by the Strip on our way to Phoenix, because when you're there, you might as well just go through. And it was so hot. It was like 50. I couldn't believe it. People in Vegas are crazy. But I wanted to see the sphere. I wanted to see the sphere, and had I thought about it, I would have drove by the Trump Tower as well. Electric car drove itself. Yes, and again, if you press the summons button, like these cars, like Tesla and other models, including the Cybertruck, will actually come to you. It's like park assist. So if you're within 60 meters of, depending on your vehicle, close to the Cybertruck, it'll actually go to where you are. So if you stand in the lobby, nobody would know that you were the owner of the truck, because they would look at the outside and see the explosion. You could be inside somewhere. Who knows where? Nobody's expecting anything. So you can be any one of the people in the lobby. And if you really want to investigate this, you should be reviewing the footage somewhere in the radius of that truck where the automation kicks in. Inside the hotel, it could be 1 floor, 2 floors, 3 floors, 10 floors, 20 floors up, looking down. We don't know. He could be across the street. Don't know. Truck just pulled up. Don't know. Everybody is focused on the truck itself. They're not focused on the idea that perhaps he could have been there close to the truck somewhere else, and he could be still alive today. I would say, if you're out there, turn yourself in to the authorities or to a media outlet or whatever and tell your story. I would say, if you're still out there. If you're still out there. Matthew, if you're watching this and you're still out there, I think you need to turn yourself in. But I understand that you have to protect yourself, because somebody's going to take you out as well, because you know something. Let's see here. What else is there? I see a Tesla Cybertruck driving around where I live in Phoenix. Did you know that Chelsea sits on the board of directors of the rideshare and owns 33%, both vehicles in Las Vegas and New Orleans? No, I did not know that Chelsea Clinton sat on the board. I think that's who you're talking about, right? Chelsea Clinton? I think I told this story before, but when I was in Phoenix, we were walking out of a restaurant and I saw a Cybertruck there. And I said to my family, I'm like, oh shoot, I forgot my keys for my truck. And then somebody behind me laughed and they're like, oh, you like our truck? And it was a lady with her husband. I thought they were kidding, but it was actually their truck. So I'm like, yeah, I think these are pretty cool. And they said, oh, do you want to see inside? I'm like, sure. So they opened up the driver's side and they said, get in. So I climbed inside the truck and I sat inside the driver's seat of the Cybertruck. First time ever in my life. They were so nice about it. They're telling us all the features, automation, how you can get the truck to come to you, all this kind of stuff, how it drives by itself. It was beautiful on the inside. It's kind of one of those things where it looks kind of ugly on the outside, but on the inside, it's very cool. So yeah, I've actually been in a Cybertruck. Had I had a few more minutes, I would have asked if I could drive it. That's how crazy I am. Is this a distraction? For sure something is going on. This truck, they look like a kid's drawing. Perhaps Elon's kids drew the truck. What's his son's name? X-11648122674. I think that's what his son's name is. Could be wrong. Let's see. What else is here? You guys are up late. It's what time is it? My time. Oh, this is weird. Guys, this is strange. Look at this. It's 11:11. It's crazy. I just looked at the clock. 11:11 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Let's see here. I just saw, I know, isn't that funny? I just said, hey, what time is it now? And everybody's looking at 1111111. Crazy. 11:11. Lots of ones. Isn't this crazy? I find that kind of weird in some ways. Weird, kind of cool. That kind of, if that doesn't tell you we're not in a parallel universe or something, I don't know what does. Did you guys read the emails from the Cybertruck guy? Yeah, I was just talking about this. I actually I heard about it. I heard about the email. I heard the email read. What was the guy's channel? Sean Ray. Somebody referred me to his channel. These guys go deep, man. These are all military guys. So I subscribe to their channel. Go check it out. They talk about the Cybertruck explosion. And I think based on what they shared and stuff, I think they're actually holding back on what they could share because obviously it's on YouTube. And they just were like, should we share? Should we not share? And this kind of stuff. But these guys were actually getting emails too from this guy that was in the Cybertruck. He actually emailed Sean Ray, wanted to be on his show. He wanted to talk to this other guy. I think it was mentioned in this channel. He wanted to talk to them first, privately, before this happened. So this is why I'm saying that this guy is most likely a whistleblower and he had something on the government. And I believe he's still out there somewhere. And he's very good at what he does. Very good at covering his trails, all this kind of stuff. Again, you have to look at it. He could have took out the Trump Tower. He did not take it out. Every other time you see a terrorist attack, several, dozens, hundreds of people get hurt or killed. That's the goal, is to kill and maim as many people. Think of the Boston Marathon. That was horrible. These guys planted a backpack. This guy drove a bulletproof Cybertruck that is also fireproof up to the hotel. Doesn't that tell you that this guy didn't want to destroy the hotel, that he's trying to get the attention of the president of the United States and Elon Musk, two of the most influential people in the world? Doesn't that sound like somebody trying to get attention? He's giving signals. He's giving clues. Exactly. No one uses fireworks to blow up a building. Not a Green Beret. Are you kidding me? It's craziness, man. You'd be better off driving right into the building and causing panic. Owen Sound. I've actually been there. That's in Ontario. I think I was there, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago. We actually flew into Vegas. I was recording a guy doing an auto show speech for all the auto industry and all this kind of stuff. So I had to record him. They paid me to stay there for like a week, free hotels. You know what? I never did one slot machine, one poker table, nothing. I just watched movies, went to go see Blue Man Group, all this kind of stuff. So I had a bit of a budget, but I never played any poker or anything in Vegas. Can you believe it? Crazy. Anyways, point is, after that, I went to Owen Sound. Let's see here. Wanted him to meet them in Flagstaff. Yes, exactly. Wanted to meet in Flagstaff. And here's what's interesting. Like people go, oh, the guy that drove the truck in New Orleans was from Flagstaff. The guy that blew up the truck, the Cybertruck in Las Vegas, was from Flagstaff. That's almost like me saying, hey, do you know Joe Brown? He's in the military. He's in the U.S. military. Have you met him? Do you know, or he's in the reserve? Do you know how many guys are in the reserve? Being going to Flagstaff does not mean you know each other. That's my whole point. It doesn't mean you ever, like, you can go to college for years and not meet someone that you know. You may never bump into them into a campus. So Flagstaff, there's people going in and out of that place all the time. Let's see here. What else do we have here? Safety in your power stays on. Thank you for that. I don't know if you're praying for me or someone else. Let's see here. Like, isn't this crazy? Feels like it's crazy, right? I'm a night owl mostly on weekends, plus I'm not going to miss out on Shane's Black Swan Revelations live. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Let's see here. Small world. Indeed. Wretched Watchman had an interesting perspective. Oh, I didn't even know that was a channel. I'll have to go check it out. Wretched Watchman. Okay, I'll check it out. Madison. Awesome. Mr. Gary Gates. No relation to Bill Gates, I'm afraid. All right, let's just see what else we have here. I'm getting lots of people saying it's strange, it's weird, it doesn't feel right, doesn't smell right, something's off. Let's see. Sentence, New York AG sentenced to Trump January 10th. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. I still think January 6th is a big day. Don't forget, CERN turns on, and I'm keeping an eye. I'm keeping one eye on CERN. I'm keeping an eye on the drones in over New Jersey. I'm keeping another eye on the Cybertruck thing. I'm also keeping an eye on the Super. Like, I'm running out of eyes, man. I'm going to make a video about the Super Bowl. And I think if I was a terrorist, you would want to cause the most amount of fear. Not necessarily the most amount of damage, but the most amount of fear. How can you do that? I think if you launched one of these man pads, if you somehow snuck them across the border and you launched one of these things to Air Force One and tried to take out Air Force One, or you took out a plane full of passengers on U.S. soil, instantly that's a Black Swan event, because people are saying it can't happen. There's no way that can happen here on American soil. And I'm saying you should be on alert for these man pads. There's rumors that there's at least 2 of them in the United States somewhere. Iranian man pads. What does that mean? Well, these rockets can be placed on your shoulder, and you can actually shoot up to 2 kilometers away, any target, 2 kilometers away. And they're very hard to take out. Very hard to take out because you're not expecting a missile coming from basically 10 feet and below, because people are carrying them on their shoulders. You can fire them right away. So to me, that is a huge red flag right now, especially leading up to the Super Bowl. The second place would be if you take out an airport or if you take out a plane. That's going to shut down every single plane in America. Or you attack an event like the Super Bowl on February 9th. Guess where the Super Bowl is? Well, it's in New Orleans. So you almost have to take this stuff seriously. This is in February. Donald Trump will be sworn in by then. I think it's on January 20th he gets sworn in. Lots of stuff going on. Yeah, that's a mystery to me. Stephen Garrett, like, I thought about that. I'm watching this interview and I'm like, okay, how is it these guys are so comfortable talking about this stuff? And they're not always telling us names, but they know a lot. And I guess because in America you have the right to defend yourself, you have the right to bear arms because of your Constitution. You don't have to worry. Was that the Second Amendment? I think it is. You don't have to worry about the government pounding down your door because you got guns. In Canada, they can walk in my door anytime. It's weird here. They just have to knock and then just say, hey, you're under investigation, whatever it is. They just knock and walk in. It's so weird. And we don't have guns. At least I don't. I don't have guns. I don't carry guns. But in America, it's like a rule. You open up a bank, you get a gun. Here, you open up a bank, you get a credit card or something. I don't know. You get credit, maybe you get a laptop or something. That's about it. Yeah, so I think the general consensus is this is bigger than what they're telling us. That would be my general consensus. So here's something else to think about. I'm going to wrap this up here. Something to think about here. Something big is coming. I don't know if I should share this right now. If it's too early, maybe it's too early. Let me read this email. This is a good thing. This is not something negative or crazy or whatever. I just want to make sure I read it right. Make sure. Let me see here. Let me see. Let me see here. Okay, so what we're working on, when I say we, I'm saying I'm going to be providing you a link that Greg created from Uptime Community Church, and this is still something in the works right now. What we're trying to do is, and this is all Greg setting this stuff up, is basically he's going to set up a Gifts and Go, and the idea behind it is to do a bit of a fundraiser, and that is to do a 3-day event. Not sure where yet. Not sure the details yet. Sometime in the future. And there's going to be a link provided. I'm going to start talking about it on this channel, and I'll share with you the link and all this as we get closer. Most likely, let's just say sometime later in the week. But the idea is to have myself and other people that you guys have been jumping to channel, have us all under one roof talking about things like this. Can you imagine the Black Swan at an event, a 3-day event where you have different guest speakers? Perhaps you have me one day, you have Greg, you have Bob Barber, you have other guys speaking. Who knows? Maybe Robert Breaker, Pete Garcia, who knows, right? But the idea is to be able to organize an event where people can actually attend, where for 3 days we get to interact with you live in person instead of just on these channels. We're going to combine all our efforts together and talk about it and share the links on all our channels so that you can help support this cause. And then perhaps there would be enough money gathered together that we can actually all be under one roof. And I think that would be fun. That'd be something I'd even be willing to pay for to go watch. I think that'd be fun. So that's something that's in the works right now. I don't know all the details, but it was mentioned to me, do you think this would be kind of interesting? I'm like, yeah, I think that would be fun. Again, if we are here, if we are all here, as in if the rapture hasn't happened yet, I think it would be cool to have my subscribers meet somewhere and imagine having dinner together or something, or having a coffee together, or just chit-chatting about stuff, right? Some of the things that you liked on the channel, or some of the things you'd like me to talk about, or some of the thoughts that you have, or whatever it is, and we just talk about stuff, and then you just watch somebody speak, like you watch Greg say something and share his heart, or you watch Bob Barber share, or someone, right? Like, I think that would be fun to get all of us under one roof for 3 days. I think that'd be fun. So I think there's links coming out. They might be already available already. But Greg has given me permission to toot the horn, if you will, on this channel. And he's just, the details are still coming and all this kind of stuff. So this is going to be a big I think this will be a big process kind of thing. So I don't want to say too much in case it doesn't happen or whatever it is, but I just wanted you guys to know that this is something that's being tossed around. And I think one of the ways to show interest is for you to comment, for you to subscribe to these channels like Uptime Community Channel, show your support for the channel, comment, share the videos, all that kind of stuff. If they talk, I think they'll be talking about it this Tuesday. I think this Tuesday night. And then of course I'll be talking about it afterwards on Overtime. I'm going to be having Overtime after Uptime to also talk about it. And then when I can, I'll be sharing links as well so that you can support this cause, which is basically something fun to be able to get together. And then who knows if some of the proceeds will go somewhere else, any access or whatever will go to some special project or whatever. But I think this is, I feel good about this. I think this would be fun. I think this would be good for both sides, not just for YouTube creators like ourselves, but also perhaps for people that want to either meet us or they want to start a YouTube channel, but maybe they're just not sure how that would be, and all this kind of stuff would be fun. And maybe, just maybe I could talk my sister Amy going with me as well. I think that would be fun. I think she would be all over it. I think she would have a blast at something like that. She likes events. All right. So thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate you a lot. And I hope you guys have a good night. I'm going to bed. I got to go to church tomorrow. I got to do a little bit of reading. So just on a sidebar note, I actually finally finished my 4th time through the Bible. I was just trying to wrap everything up, and I took a bit of a break today. And I'm in Acts now. So my goal is to start all over again, day 1. And I'm actually reading another book as well. This is kind of an interesting book. This is, what is the book called? I find this book fascinating. This guy thinks like me a little bit. It's called, I don't want any spoilers if you haven't, if you've read this book already before, don't wreck it for me. But the book that I'm reading right now is called, this one here, What Dwells Beyond, Life in the Universe. So this is what I'm reading on Kindle right now, on my Kindle, my Amazon Fire. And I also have it on my phone. There is no audiobook for this. I often thought if this book was good enough, I thought maybe it'd be cool to just read the book, read the entire book, but that takes a lot of time, obviously. But yeah, my goal was to have this book done. I just started reading it this morning, so my goal is to have it done by this weekend. So I don't know if I'll be able to, but starting in the book of Acts, going all the way to the end of Revelation, then the 4 Gospels, and then I jump into Genesis and I go all the way to the end of Malachi. So that's kind of my reading schedule. So, and I'm not going to be talking about how many times I've read the Bible moving forward as I used to do. Because like I said, some people get mad at that. They think I'm bragging or whatever, but I'm trying to encourage you guys to read as much as you can. Because like I said, in 3 years, I've read the entire Bible 14 times. And for me, that was just, it changed my life. It absolutely changed my life. So I used to buy a journal every time I read the Bible, but then I have like 14 journals. Every time I go through the Bible, I make all my notes, and I'm like, man, that takes time too. So I have these journals, but I find it faster just to read and then I find I can just retain stuff by reading it over and over and over again. So moving forward, I'm not going to be saying, okay, this month I read this 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, whatever it is this year. I'm basically, after 14 times, it's like, okay, you guys get it. I read a lot. I get it. I read a lot. And we'll just leave it there. Just know, if you want any tips on how to read your Bible faster, better, all this kind of stuff, let me know. I have an email here if you want. Let's see here, right here. Black Swan Diary 2022. If you want any tips or anything, I'll just say, if you want to know how to read more of the Bible, email me, and that way I don't talk about it all the time and look like I'm bragging. But it's fun. It's just really fun. I really enjoy reading the Bible. I really do. I love it. So, with that being said, let's see what the comments are. I read the Torah book and got some great notes. My laptop crashed, lost them all. I know, it's rough, right? God bless you as well. I read mine at night, in the morning, 2 to 4 chapters a day. Yep, 2 to 4 chapters a day will get you through the entire Bible in 1 year. 15 minutes a day will get you through the Bible in a year. It's not that hard to get through the entire Bible in a year. It's not hard. I find it harder to retain stuff if I stretch things out. Imagine reading Harry Potter, book 1. I don't even know what they're called. Dragon Master or whatever it is, book 1. And it took you 5 years to read it. You wouldn't remember what happened at the beginning. You wouldn't. You'd be like, oh man, I got to read it again. Most people, when they get a novel, they try and read it as fast as they can. Nobody ever tells them, slow down, slow down. Why don't you just read 1 sentence a day in Lord of the Rings? Why do you read it so fast? It's because you love it. It's because you love it. So it's the same approach as the Bible. I just consume it until I can't consume it anymore. And then I close the book. I don't even time myself. I don't read anything. I just read and read and read until I got to do a YouTube channel or somebody calls me to dinner or whatever it is. And then I just, it's kind of like, hey, what? Where am I? What? Anyways. Let's see here. Yeah, and I find it easier to read a Bible without commentary because that prevents you from going down bunny trails, and it allows you to actually focus on just reading the Bible. So, thank you for sharing with us on how to read the Bible. I do love Bible quizzes online to test my memory and what I read. Awesome. I will try and quiz myself on ChatGPT just to see how much ChatGPT knows about the Bible according to its program and research and all that. And all it knows really is it knows more stats. Like if I say quiz me on the Bible just to see if I can stump it, it'll quiz me on names that are in Chronicles most of the time. And I'm like, ask me something deep or whatever, and it can never do it. It's always like, what year was this, or where is this person found? And then you realize that in Chronicles it's like mentioned 1 time, and I'm like, yeah, okay, that's not what I'm looking for at all. So sometimes it's nice to be able to be live on here, and then you quiz each other and ask each other questions, deep theological questions. I love that on here, because you don't always have a chance to ask those questions when you're in church. You don't always have a chance to ask those questions because there's not enough time. You only have maybe 30, 40 minutes of a message, a sermon, and then you have another 30, 40 minutes of worship, and then everybody goes to KFC or chicken fingers or McDonald's or whatever it is. They all rush out the door. So yeah, it's I think this is a good medium for that, to be able to ask questions. And if you ever have questions, You can also go to Bible study with Derek. Derek has Bible every week. He's doing Q&A, Q&A, Q&A. And I think mostly he does a Bible study on Friday, and I think during the week he does some Q&A. And usually it carries over from Uptime because he's on there as well from time to time. And whatever questions don't get answered on Uptime, he'll carry it over to the next day on his show, and he'll talk about it. And then you also have Departure Heaven with Rick. Rick usually goes Monday nights. He's got Prophecy Mondays, and his channel is exploding. Gary Gates usually talks about how to get people saved, how to win people over with love, and then also talks about some of the books that he's writing on, some of his projects. He's a great soul. I trust him. He's a good guy. Check out his channel, Not So Random Acts of Kindness. Great channel name. Who else is there? And then we have End Times Talk with Josh. Great channel. You got Kevin Hookman. He's got stuff going on there. I've told Kevin, I said, you should do a video every day, man. Do a video every day. Who else do we have? And then you got my sister, who I'm trying to get back on YouTube again. She's been so busy trying to get her back. She has her own channel. It's called I can't believe I forgot her channel name. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. Can it? I forgot my sister's channel name. Can you believe it? Think of Departure Heaven. It's Revelation Harvesters. Great name. I came up with that idea for her. We came up with it together. It's a great name. Go check out Revelation Harvesters. And we tossed around a bunch of ideas, and that was the one that she liked. So she has a pretty decent following on her channel. I think she's at 500, I think. And she only has like 5 videos. It took me a year and a half to get to 1,000 subscribers. A year and a half. And this channel is not quite 3 years old right now. But I remember, man, I never thought I never thought I'd get to 1,000 subscribers, and now I get about an average of about 500 or so a month, which is interesting. That shows you how the channel grows if you're consistent. This is one of the reasons why I try to do a video each day. My goal is to try and do a video every day, kind of after work, after hours kind of thing, like maybe 3:30, 4 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, which would be like 6 o'clock in the East. And then on the weekend, do 1 or 2 videos. I know I did a bit of a devotion this morning. I think it was on Jude. That was a good one. Go check it out. I like that one. And then tomorrow night we have Rev 5. And I'm changing the format a little bit, where if we get more than 5 people, they will have 30 minutes to talk. And obviously we still ask questions and all this kind of stuff, but they'll have 30 seconds on the panel. And then the first person that came on gets removed, and then we add another person. So I don't know yet if this will work, but I think with the audience, it's pretty loud and clear that more than 5 people gets a little bit convoluted, and people start talking over each other. And I want to prevent that from happening. I want to have more control. So there could come a time where I'll have 5 people on the panel and then 5 people in the back. And then I just remove one person on the front and then bring in another person from the back every 15 minutes. Boom, boom, boom. One goes off, one comes on. They stay on for half an hour. Another guy goes off. Another gal goes off. Another gal comes on. So that's the idea, starting tomorrow at 3:30. And I think it'll be a hit. I think people will really appreciate that format. It's just a little bit more organized that way. Let's see here. What else do we have here? Did I forget anybody? Bob Barber's channel and Dreams and Visions. Go check out his channel as well. Obviously, Uptime Community Church. Check that out as well. Beth Ariel Congregation is pre-trib Messianic Church, Jewish in Montreal. Gives Jewish insight. Bonjour, okay. Brother Matt from Games to God, a favorite study for me. Awesome. God Reality, funny. I have done Revelation. Awesome. Chuck Meisler studies. Same with me. I think about 2 years ago, somebody said I kind of sounded like him. And then I listened to one of his audiobooks and I'm like, no way, man. This guy is like, he's on another level. I don't think he's alive anymore. I don't think, is Chuck Meisler alive? Like, I do like the way he thinks and all this kind of stuff. I may not agree with everything that he says, but I have a lot of his stuff. So, especially when I was driving truck, I used to listen to it. Let's see here. Encouragement getting my channel started. Really appreciate you in this community. No problem. Anytime. If there's anything I could do to help, let me know that as well. If you want me on your channel as a guest, if you want to be on a channel on my channel as a guest, as part of the panel, let me know that as well. Got my email here. Let's see the email here. This is if you want to be on my channel. This goes for anybody here. Black Swan pod requests at gmail.com. I do prefer that you have a YouTube channel. That way I could also subscribe to your channel and I can send some of my followers to you and recommend your channel. If you don't have a YouTube channel, it's not the end of the world. Usually what I do is I meet with you on like a private video just to see if we connect, if it's not too awkward or weird or anything. And then we just do a live video together. That's how I do it. So that's what I did with my sister. I invited her on my channel a few times, and then she had the confidence to go on her channel and do her own thing. Let's see here. Talk so fast and he has passed. Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. Maybe I did know that. Maybe I did know that he passed 2018. Favorite for me. I think I saw that one. All right. Awesome, guys. Oh, hang on here. I do little videos on my channel. Haven't went live yet. This is Daisy Joe. As you can tell, I love doing live. I never used to. I used to just make videos, upload them, do all this kind of stuff, and it just seemed like it took a lot longer. When I'm done the show, I could say goodbye, hit end stream, and it's uploaded, and then I just go upstairs and go to bed. Done. That's it. I don't need to do anything anymore. But with editing and all that stuff, it's just like, oh man, this is so painful, especially if you're going every day. It's very difficult. This is why some of these YouTube channels, like Departure Heaven, Uptime, Community Church, all these others, don't necessarily go every day, because they have a higher production value in their shows. Like they prepare, they do research, all this kind of stuff. My research is usually the day of. I do a little bit of thoughts. I read a few articles, watch a few YouTube videos on the subject, and then I hit record, and then away we go. But yeah, I would encourage you. Same thing. If you want to be a guest on my channel, here is, I'll just leave this up. Maybe this is easier. I'll just leave this up. And then if you have questions as well, Black Swan Diary 2022, even if you have questions about your YouTube channel, whatever it is, say you have less than 100 subscribers, I can definitely help you out. I can give you some advices. But if you want to be on my channel, just email me. Yeah, do live. I would encourage anyone to do live, do lots more videos, all that good stuff. Zach from Wretched Watchman. No, now that you mention it, let me just check this. Wretched Watchman. Let me just check out his channel here. I'll subscribe to it, because once I subscribe to it, then I can come back later and watch it. Wretched. Kind of a cool name. Wretched Watchman. Wretched Watchman. Let's see here. Let me just share. Wretched Watchman. Right here. 19,000 subs. Subscribe. What's he got going on here? 7 days ago. I always like to check out the channel just to see what he's up to, what he's doing. So he does lives. 3 hours ago he did a live. Interesting thumbnails. 20,000 subscribers. How long has he been around? He's been around 3 years, 4 years. That's pretty good. 2 million views. Wow. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Okay, so I subscribed to that. What's the other channel? Who's the other one here? Daisy Joe. Is that the name of your channel? Daisy Joe? Let's go check it out here. Daisy Joe. Maybe it's just one word. Nature's Hair Care. Don't know if that's it. Maybe not. Don't know. All right. What else do you have here? Got reality. Yeah, if you guys have YouTube channels and stuff, just post them on here and people can subscribe to your channel. They can spread the love. But that's it for tonight's video. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I know it's late at night. I really appreciate you guys a lot. So thank you for that. Thank you for hanging out. Really appreciate it. And if you want to support this channel as well, you can. I think I have a PayPal link. You can give like $2 a month, $3, $5, $10, whatever you want. We have super chats on here, whatever it is, whatever you guys want to do. Whatever you think that you feel like supporting this channel, you don't have to. Obviously, I have like over 1,100 videos on this channel. There's lots of stuff for you to look up. I do videos, I do Bible studies, all kinds of stuff, but I try to focus. My main focus is basically I do my devotions, and then when I get on here, I talk a lot about Black Swan events. It's kind of the theme of the channel. All right, so thanks a lot, guys. Really appreciate you, and I hope you guys have a good sleep and all that good stuff, and I will see you in another video. Bye for now.